Hey everyone, this is Brian from actomelody.com. Well, this week we have a very stripped down jam track, and it's just a piano and a little bit of drums, and that's it. And it's going to be your job to fill in the rhythm and the melody on the guitar. And so you can do this on an acoustic guitar or an electric, either way. But if you are doing it on electric, just go clean channel, no overdrive or effects. Just keep it very simple. And sometimes it's lessons like this that can actually be more challenging than you think. You listen to it and you think, oh, that's easy, I can do that. But if you're in a scenario where it's just you and another musician, whether it be a piano player or another guitar player, sometimes that can be more challenging than you think to come up with something that complements but is also, melodic. So anyway, that's what we're gonna break down. So if you're a beginner, this would be a great lesson for you to jump into. But even if you're an intermediate or an advanced player, there'll be something in this for anyone. If you want to download the tablature for this lesson and the jam track that I'm played with, so you're going to actually need that jam track to make this lesson work. You're going to have to go to activemelody.com and look for EP052. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so real quick before we do get started, I'm playing on the Alvarez MPA70 parlor guitar. I do get asked that question all the time. In fact, it's amazing to me how many people ask what guitar this is. It's a great guitar. Make sure you check it out from Alvarez. It's just a beautiful sounding, looking, playing guitar, and it's become one of my favorites that I have. And it's just very easy to play, and it sounds great. So Alvarez has a lot of different parlor guitars. So if you want, this is one of their higher end ones because of the inlay around it and the types of wood used. But they have some others as well. If you're interested in getting a smaller body guitar, which I recommend, I think they're much cooler looking and playing and all of that, check out Alvarez, because I just think what they're doing is phenomenal. And they're not paying me to say that. That's from the heart. So okay, so let's see, where were we? Okay, so this thing starts with a G chord. It starts with two chords on the piano, a G chord and a C chord. And that's me on the piano, by the way. Sometimes people ask, hey, who are your other musicians? It's me, me and myself and I. I'm not a great piano player, but I can play chords and stuff, so definitely sufficient for this lesson. So the chord starts with a G chord, and then goes to a C chord, and then back to a G, and then back to a C. And what I did on the guitar was, for the first 4 times through, I played along with the piano. So just to establish something, establish the rhythm, to establish kind of an intro, really. And so that becomes the intro on the guitar. And that's all I'm doing, is I'm just playing right along with the piano, playing that G chord and the C chord. Now, one thing, let me show you the chords first, and then we'll talk real quickly about the timing. It's pretty simple timing, but I'll talk you through it. Okay, so the first thing is with the chords. Now you may notice that I'm playing this G chord, I'm fingering it different than you are. And I know a lot of people, when they learn to play a G chord, especially if you're just starting, is you learn to play it like this. That's how I learned to play it. The problem with this is when you're jumping between a G and a C, look how much movement there is. It's a lot of work. And I'm all for trying to eliminate work and with a guitar, and trying to make it easier on myself. So what I've always done when I play the G chord is I'd use my pinky here on the 3rd fret 1st string. I use my ring finger on the 3rd fret 6th string, so both of those are on the 3rd fret. Then I use my middle finger here on the 2nd fret 5th string. So that's how I'm playing a G chord, like that. Now what that allows you to do is, now watch how easy it is to jump into a C chord. And also it allows your pointer finger to be free, so that you can now play on the 1st fret 2nd string when you're playing a G chord like this. So you have some more options, I guess. It opens up some more possibilities. So try playing your G chords like this now with your pinky. And especially for this, what we're going to learn for this, because I'm going to show you how to play now when we go to the C chord. This is a different way than you may be used to playing a C. The typical way you learn to play C in first position is like this, right? And so this one string is just an open string, which is right. That's technically a C chord. That's fine. But if you're jumping between a G and a C chord, playing rhythm on an acoustic guitar, it's nice to just go ahead and push down, so create the C chord the way you're used to doing it. Then take your pinky here and push down on the 3rd fret 1st string to work that G note into the C chord. It gives you a different feel to the C chord. Now when you're going between a G and a C, you have a common note that's shared between the two chords, and it's just, I think it gives it kind of a really nice feel to do that. And you'll notice my pinky just stays anchored down the whole time. Okay, so that's the fingering part of those two chords. May not be news to all of you, but I'm sure it is to some of you. Okay, now the other thing is the timing. So if you'll notice what I'm doing, when I play the C chord, I'm actually playing it on the and what I mean by that, if we were to count this, it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So it's not played straight on the beat, it's coming in a little bit ahead of the beat. You can hear it it kind of pulls you into that next chord, and the piano's doing that as well. So in the beginning, you're just literally following what the piano does, and it helps to have. That's the reason I added that drum track on there. Originally, I didn't. I just had a piano, but I thought it would help for those of you that are trying to learn timing to hear the drum track, and the drum's just playing on the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, but the piano goes 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear how it's coming in a little bit ahead of the 3. So just practice that and try to get the timing. Just remember you're coming in on the and, so you're not coming in right on the beat. And just listen to the piano. It's doing that part. Okay. The other thing to point out with the rhythm is just to keep it very, very simple. What I wanted to do initially was I wanted to do something like little fills in between the chords, and I thought that that's what I was going to show you how to do, but it just complicated it, and it actually muddied the water a little bit. And a lot of times when you're playing like this, you have to listen to what the overall mood is that you're trying to create together, you and the other musicians. But I thought when I was doing that, it was pulling too much attention to the guitar, and it was detracting from what the piano was doing. So that's part of the skill of what you're going to have to learn as you learn to play an instrument, especially when you're playing with other people in a band. It's not all about you all the time. It has to be, sometimes it's knowing what not to play. And so it's hard. It's actually hard to kind of pull back when you have all these ideas, or for me, I've always got these ideas kind of spinning through my head. But, you know, you got to kind of muzzle it a little bit. So here's what I was doing. I was just going very simple. Okay, so that's the intro. And you do that 4 times. Now, then right after that, it goes right into the lead, which goes like this. And you'll notice that note right there, it just gets held out. But it works because the piano is continuing those 2 chords in the background. And so they're setting the context. So it allows you to let that note ring out. So let's look at those notes. Now the first thing is we're going to take our middle finger on the 2nd fret 4th string. Then we're going to play the open 3rd string, or the G string. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret 3rd string, again with my middle finger. So those are your first 3 notes. Now after you play that, you're going to go ahead and slide up to the 4th fret 3rd string with your middle finger. Okay? And then after that, we're going to take our pointer finger and play on the 3rd fret 2nd string, and that's that note that rings out like this. So all together, I'll do it slowly, we have. Okay? The picking pattern is down, up, down, down, down. Actually, the last time is an up. It depends. If I'm doing it slowly, I'll do it down. But so it's down, up, down, down, up. Now typically the goal is always to do alternate picking when you're doing multiple notes like this. So it's down, up, down, up. That's what you want to shoot for. But in some scenarios where I'm doing a slide like that, it's actually easier just to do another downstroke. So that's why it's down, up, down, down, up. Okay, so those are the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. Then after that, then I play. Okay, now for that, this goes back into that kind of call and responsey thing. You'll hear me talk about that a lot, and I do that when I'm playing. And I've learned to do that because I play by myself a lot. But so I find that bleeding into the way that I play solos, but it becomes more conversational, I think. So the first part is almost like one person talking, going. It's the first thing that somebody said or sang, and then what somebody would say back to that is. Okay, and so for that, I'm going to start on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, with my middle finger, and I'm going to slide. As soon as I hit it, I slide immediately to the 4th fret, 3rd string, and then I'm going to slide back like this. So you got up, down, open 3rd string, fret the 4th string on the 2nd fret, and then we're going to let that G string or the 3rd string ring out when we play it. And that's important. You're going to hear that in the next part when I play the next few notes, that you're going to want that 3rd string to ring out. So what we have for that last whole part is we have. So again, what's going to make this sound good or sound soulful is the sliding. If you just played it straight, it would sound like this. Sounds very robotic. You don't want that. I think I'm always looking for ways I can slur notes, and because it sounds much more like the human voice. Okay, so thus far we have. Now notice the timing too. Let me just count through it real quick. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So that's kind of the timing part. Alright, now after I let that play that note and let that 3rd string ring out, then what I come up here and play is. And what you'll hear what that's doing, it's just mirroring this. It's mirroring the chord thing. So here's how I do it. So I let the 3rd string ring out. Then I play my pinky on the 1st string on the 3rd fret. So that becomes an octave. It's 2 G's. Let me show you the notes first, then I'll show you what I'm doing with my right hand, because I actually am using some hybrid picking where I'm using my pick and my finger here with my right hand. Then I'm going to play the open B string or the 2 string like this. So it sounds. Okay? Now after that, then I'm going to take my pointer finger and come down on the 1st fret, 2nd string. And I kind of, even though I'm holding this, by the way, I'm holding this down the whole time. My pinky on the 3rd fret, 1st string stays down the whole time. And I'm trying to actually give that a little vibrato, even though I've got kind of 2 fingers there. But I'm doing the best I can with it. You can hear it a little bit. It gives it almost a tremolo sound. It's kind of nice. Now after that, then I go. Again, notice this stays down the whole time. So what I do there is I do a hammer-on. So my pointer finger, once it comes down on the 1st fret, 2nd string, it stays down, so that I can do a hammer-on between the 1st fret and the 3rd fret on the 2nd string like this. You can hear it starts on the 1st fret, 2nd string here, and then I use my ring finger to go ahead and hammer down 3rd fret, 2nd string. So now as soon as I play that, then I'm going to come back here and play the 3rd fret, 1st string, and then back to the 3rd fret, 2nd string. So we have, see, that's just those 2 fingers there. and then I come back to the first fret, second string. So that's a lot of vocalization there, but let me show you. Let me play through it slowly. It's always easier just to hear it, I think. Let me do it again. Okay. So now, what's the right hand doing? I'm starting by picking the first thing I do is I pick that 3 string, the open 3 string, and I take my ring finger here with the right hand. Let me get the right angle here so you can see that. And I play that open one, or not the open, but the 1 string on the 3rd fret. Then I take my middle finger and I play the B string or the 2 string. So it's like this. Then I use my middle finger again. Use my middle finger again. Ring finger. Middle finger. Middle finger. Now that's the way I do it. So in all of that little part, I just really use the pick on the 3rd string. Everything that happened on the 2nd and 1st string, I use my fingers. See, watch this. I'll do it slowly. Now that's just the way that I've done it. You can do this all with a pick. If that's too complicated, if you're like, man, I'm not going to get into like trying to finger pick and stuff, just use the pick. You can go. You know, in fact, that works just as well. It's really there's no right way to do that. It's just I've found through the years it's easier for me to kind of keep my positioning with my right hand there, so that I can, if I'm some of these higher notes, sometimes it's easier. If it's too fast, I'll just use the pick. But if it's something slow like this, it's just easier for me to grab it with these fingers. Now some of you also may be saying, yeah, but you have long fingernails, so of course you can do that. You can actually do, for years I didn't have long fingernails, and it works fine either way. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so let me play through it. I'll play through it kind of quickly. Here's what we have thus far. There's 4 of these. One, two, three. Alright, so then we come to the second part, which is just a repeat of what we did the first time. The only difference is all that's the same. We come back to the 4th fret, 3rd string, and then we do this hammer-on between the 3rd fret and the 5th fret on the 2nd string like this. Okay, so that's really the only thing different. The first time through, we just did those notes. The second time through, and then after that, then I come down and play the 3rd fret, 2nd string 2 times. Okay, then I went. Now you already know this part, but this, what I'm doing for that, now this you are going to have to do some hybrid picking. Very easy though. Just use your pick and your ring finger on your right hand. Ring finger goes down on the 1 string. Your pick goes down on the 3 string. So you're doing them at the same time. Now the fretting on the left hand goes here. This is the 5th fret right here. So you're straddling strings 1 and 3 on the 5th fret, and you're gonna, as soon as you pick them, you're gonna slide it up to the 7th fret like this, and then back. And that's it. Just do it once. That's all you got to do up there, right? Again, watch the right hand. See how I'm picking them at the same time? Okay. Now after that, then we're going to come down here. Pinky goes down again on the 3rd fret, 1st string, and then we're going to go. You can see it's a nice little harmony. And all I'm doing with my pointer finger is I'm hammering on to the first fret, second string, then letting it go and playing just the open second string along with my pinky there on the third fret, first string. So now after that, then I come down and play that little part again, which we already know. So after I go, I come down and play the open third string with my pick. Now I'm back to the first fret, second string, and that little run again. And again, that's just mirroring the chords. So let me back up and play this whole little second part. So we have... Okay, so now we come to the D part, and what I do there, this is very, very simple, but I just thought it sounded great just as it is. So I'm up on the 7th fret and I'm using my ring finger on the second string, 7th fret. Middle finger goes down on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, and I'm just playing those two notes. So 2nd string, 3rd string, both on the 7th fret. And what I did is I kind of slid into them like that. Now you could play them down here too. In fact, I thought about teaching it down here, where you normally play a D. But I thought that you just had a little more control over the vibrato doing it up here. So it's just a preference thing, wherever it's easiest for you. So that's what I do when I start it. Then I go, I come up here and play this next. Now for this, my ring finger comes up to the 9th fret, 3rd string. This is the 9th fret right here. My pointer finger goes to the 8th fret, 2nd string. Okay, and those are your two notes. So the first two are going like that. Then you come up and go. Then you're back to where you started, and then I came down and went, and that you already should be familiar with. That's the pinky down on the 3rd fret, 1st string, and we do a hammer on to the 2nd string, 1st fret. And what I did to keep it real concise sounding, I used my ring finger and middle finger to pluck those two strings. You could do that with a pick if you had to. Okay, so let me back up and play that whole D part. So it goes. And then you're right back into the chords, which is the intro again. So now it's a loop. Now you can do the whole thing over again. And that's how you're going to want to practice with this jam track. Just as the jam track keeps going through it, you're right back to your loop again. Okay, and really that's all there is to this song. So if you need to download the tablature and the jam track, make sure you go to activemelody.com, look for EP052. Alright, so let me go ahead and I'll play through this slowly so that you have a slow version of it, and then we'll be done. So here we go. and then it just repeats. You're right back to the intro. So there you go. That's all I have for this week. Make sure you, if you haven't done so already, you go to activemelody.com and join our community if you're interested in learning to play guitar and just interacting with other guitar players. Or you can like me on Facebook at facebook.com/activemelody, or follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/activemelody. We'll see you in next week's lesson.